All right, Chad Porter here with Alex Bregman. How are you, Alex?
Doing great. Trying to make the most of our time during this quarantine, as we both are. So excited to be on. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man, my pleasure. I was surprised to get a message from you on Instagram a few weeks ago, and wanted me to do your podcast that you're starting and coming out with. How is that going, and what was kind of the purpose of doing that podcast?
Yeah, it's been going great. We have about 11 or 12 now recorded. My website is about to launch, and when we launch the podcast, I want to have a few in the bank, a few that we already have recorded, and we have our first 5 or 6 done, and we're about ready to start letting it go public. So I'm excited about it. It's something I've wanted to do for a long time. Just share the stories of great people like yourself, and it's been really interesting. It's been fun. It's been it's been a learning experience being on this side of the microphone. Normally answering questions with the media or on the radio or on TV, it's a lot different than what this is, and it's fun for me to be on this side of the microphone.
Yeah, it's usually all about you, and being on the backside and asking those questions. It is very different. So tell me a little bit about it is fun. Tell me a little bit about your background. I know you grew up in Albuquerque and literally a son of a huge sports family. Tell me a little bit about your upbringing.
Yeah, so growing up, my dad was a mentor to me. Somebody who I looked up to a lot, and my mom loves sports too. But my dad and I practiced playing baseball since I was probably 2-3 years old in the backyard. Every night coming home from work, he'd bring home a baseball card, and it kind of I started to love the game probably around 3-4 years old, and that's when T-ball started. So that was a fun time for me. Playing T-ball, playing in the cul-de-sac with all my buddies. I grew up in a cul-de-sac where I had a guy playing in the NFL, a guy playing in the big leagues, and then I was a little kid who was just like following them around all day long, wanting to be them. And I just grew up loving playing baseball. And my dad was a big part in that. My grandfather was the attorney for the Washington Senators. In DC, where my dad grew up, and he had a love for the game. My dad had a love for the game, and I kind of learned that passion and drive from them. I think at 13 years old is when I kind of decided that I wanted to make baseball my life. I went to a baseball camp at University of New Mexico, and Coach Birmingham there told me if I wanted to be good at baseball, I had to decide. I had to decide that I wanted to be successful. And for me, that meant waking up at 6 a.m. before classes, going to the gym, getting my schoolwork done throughout the day, and then going to the Albuquerque Baseball Academy until about 10 p.m. at night, where my mom would come pick me up and be like, all right, you done yet? That was a long day. And we did it every day for about 5 years until I went to school at LSU. And yeah, I think that's pretty much my story. Went to LSU for 3 years, loved my time there. Had a blast, and then got drafted to the Astros in 2015, and I've been fortunate enough to be playing up in the big leagues since 2017. That was my first year, and now it's 2020, and still playing in the big leagues, still enjoying it, still loving baseball. Growing up, my parents always asked me if I would get burnt out ever from playing baseball, and I really haven't. And some advice I'd give parents, my parents never said, hey, you need to go out and practice. You need to do this. They always were accessible and wanting to take me to practice. And they make so many sacrifices, whether that's driving to Arizona for tournaments or driving to Texas or whatever it may be. But they never forced me to do it. I always wanted to do it out of the love for the game. And I think that's one of the reasons why I've never been burnt out. And I always love the game and love working at the game.
Yeah, it's a fine balance. I have 2 boys myself, and I've tried not to push them. Obviously I love sports growing up, and that's what my whole life revolved around growing up, but also see the side where the parents are just pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing versus just making it available to them and supporting them along the way. So you're very fortunate to have that. And I think it proves your success, having that kind of support throughout your years.
100%. They always have been so supportive, and my parents never, they wanted me to get a good education. That's part of the reason I went to LSU and didn't sign out of high school. They wanted me to take school extremely serious. I did. But the thing is, they never shot my dreams down of playing in the big leagues. They never said, hey, you have to have a backup plan. You have to have a backup plan. They always said, hey, we believe in you, and you're going to play in the big leagues. We believe you're going to. And I said it just that, like, a lot of people may think it's crazy when you're 13 years old. Like, the chances of playing in the big leagues are 1 in a million. But my parents never said, hey, you're not going to do it. Hey, you need to have a backup plan. No, they never did that. They said, yeah, we believe you. Keep working at it. Keep believing in yourself. And well, it happened.
Yeah. So one of the main reasons I wanted you on this is one, to give back from you interviewing me and letting me share my story. But I certainly have been really impressed with all the work that you're doing during this crazy time and some of the things that you're doing. Tell me a little bit about, your life right now as far as what you're doing day to day.
Yeah, so we're not playing right now. We, as you know, all sports are really on the back burner right now, and there's more important things to worry about. With that being said, I'm trying to stay in shape and be ready for the season whenever that may start. So my day starts by waking up early and working out. Me and one of my teammates who I've basically been quarantined with, we work out in my home gym, and we pretty much stay in our own area, and we're trying to flatten the curve with everybody else and do our part. But my fiance and I sat down when this started, and we wanted to make a difference and wanted to help people. And originally we were going to provide food for healthcare workers. And then we thought there might be a bigger need as we looked deeper into it. And we found that kids were missing meals, and that just didn't sit well with us. Kids that are used to getting their meals at school, kids that are used to getting their meals from the YMCA or different groups like that. So we wanted to donate money and raise awareness to that, and kind of get together a group of people here in Houston to help these kids not miss meals. And we partnered with the food bank, and we kind of created what's called Alex's Army. I think it's the Houston Army, really. And the people here have really just been tremendous. It's every $1 that is donated provides 3 meals for these kids. So Reagan and I launched this probably 3 days ago. We went down to the food bank. We actually packaged some of the meals ourselves because we wanted to be hands-on with this process and make sure that the people that are donating money, it's going to what it's donated to, which is helping these kids. And so far in 3 days, we have $712,000 raised, which is pretty special. And it just shows how much this community rallies around each other. And we set our goal at $1 million, but I think we're going to get there in the next few days. So hopefully in the next few days, we'll raise that goal up to 2 million. And then once we hit 2 million, we're going to try for 5. And we're just going to keep going up and trying to help as many kids and impact as many kids as possible.
Man, that's awesome. That's a lot of work in just 3 days. So I'm sure you've been at it pretty wide open.
Yeah, we've been on the phones nonstop. We wake up, we work out, like I said, and then it's on the phones calling people in this city. And you know what? Just in speaking to people here in Houston, it's all about helping people. And when I talked to the food bank first, they said I would never have guessed this, but during Hurricane Harvey, there was a need for food, need to help people, but the demand for it right now is way beyond what it was during Hurricane Harvey. So we're trying to do our small part in flattening the curve and also helping kids get meals. And we've done a pretty good job of that so far. So hopefully we can continue to grow this and help more kids. That's
awesome. So I saw that you went to a prom this year.
Yeah. So
tell us about that.
Lance McCullers, one of my teammates, and I, who we've been working out together, he's over here at my house, and he says, "Hey, my wife got a call from our neighbors, and they want to know if you guys would like to join this virtual prom." I didn't know what we were getting into, but it was a Zoom call. I think the whole United States is on Zoom right now, trying to connect with people. And we felt bad that these kids were going to be missing their senior year prom. So when Lance and I were like, "Hey, how can we help?" and we hopped on the Zoom call with them, chatted it up for a bit, and it was a lot of fun. It's been fun to work with Lance because Lance is a very giving person. He's always helping out. He has his own foundation, the Lance McCullers Jr. Foundation, which does work with pets. They help pets find homes, and just our whole team's been doing a great job, really, during this time of helping people. Justin Verlander is donating all of his checks that he's receiving to different organizations to help people with COVID relief. Carlos Correa and his foundation have donated like $500,000 in medical equipment to hospitals. Jose Altuve has donated meals at the food bank as well. George Springer donated $100,000 to help our staff at Minute Maid Park who are not working right now due to this, help them out through this tough time as well. So I think our team's done a great job of helping out in our community, and we take pride in that.
That's awesome. I'm sure Houston is very, very thankful for you guys as well, because, I mean, this is one of those times where you could just hunker down and do your own little thing, but you've kind of been hitting the streets as safely as possible and been out there hands-on.
Yeah, well, we appreciate them. They're always there for us throughout the long 162-game season. They're always there for us, always supporting us. So we definitely want to give back to them and help them in any way we possibly can, whether that's sending a video telling a kid happy birthday because they have to spend their birthday in their house without their friends during this time, or whether it's donating meals, whatever it is, we're trying to help out. And we love Houston. We love our community, and hopefully it inspires some other people to do the same.
Awesome. So one of the other things that impressed me a lot about you was, as a close part to my heart as well, being a son of a mother who taught special needs kids for 25, 30 years. I work a lot with people who have intellectual and physical disabilities. And so your Bregman Cares charity, I'd like you to tell us a little bit about that with Autism Awareness.
Yeah, so Reagan, my fiance, and I started Bregman Cares actually pretty recently. And we have 3 pillars to our charity. That is kids with autism, first responders, and high school athletes. And we've done the most work so far in the autism community when it comes to our charity. What we've done so far, we've raised probably a little over $150,000 for kids with autism. What we do with that is we put iPads in the classrooms. So my godson, who has autism, was diagnosed when he was 3 years old. I think it was 5 years ago now. And he was pretty nonverbal at first. He wasn't speaking, wasn't communicating. And this Pro Loco software that we give with the iPads to the schools helps them communicate. And honestly, we've seen enormous. It is the help that this program and these iPads give these kids is crazy, really. My godson now can tell you the name of any country in the world. He could point it out on the map and tell you about it. He could probably even speak in that language. It's ridiculous how much they learn from this program and this software. So what we do is we put the iPads in schools in the Houston area. We put it in New Mexico, where I'm from. And at first we started doing it by doing baseball camps, and we raised the money that way. And then from whatever we made from the camp, we donate that money in iPads to the schools. But now we partnered with Blue Sprig here in Houston to every home run I hit, they donate $1,000. And then there's another group in Austin, Texas, Think Neurology, that does the same. So this last year was a good year. We raised a lot of money, and we're fortunate enough that we actually have 200 iPads now that we're going to be handing out as soon as schools get back, whenever that is. We don't know, But we're looking forward to helping out as many classrooms as possible.
That is awesome. Yeah, it's rewarding when you see firsthand the difference that your dollars make, that you're raising, and versus them going to some type of administration and things like that a lot of these nonprofits need to run, but to see firsthand the change in, your godson, which has got to be so cool to be able to watch.
Oh, it's so cool. And you know what? We went to Blue Sprig a year ago. They have different locations here around Texas, and we went over there and we gave a Christmas to these three families, and just hearing the feedback from how much they've learned and how much they've improved in their different social skills and their learning has been really rewarding. And our long-term goals for this are hopefully to open up an assessment center that can help with early diagnosis. We want to put a sensory room at Minute Maid Park so kids with autism can go to the games, and if they have an episode, or if they're not feeling good at the game, they can go to the sensory room. Then hopefully open up a school one day. That's like long-term goal, like wish list. Open up a school for kids with autism that can help them out.
If LeBron can do it, I'm sure you can as well at some point, right?
Yeah, I've actually been watching his I Promise school videos on Quibi that just came out, the new app, and it's really inspiring. It really is, and hopefully we can help these kids.
So everybody knows you as the super talented baseball player. I mean, just had a birthday, 26 years old, correct?
Yes,
awesome.
Sir, 26.
I know. You feel like you're getting old, don't you? You have no idea.
I feel like I am getting older. My body doesn't feel like it, but like, geez, thinking 26 years old is crazy. I feel like I'm still a kid playing the game that I love.
Yeah, well, life has changed a lot in the last 4 years for you. So in the best way possible. So everybody knows all of the accolades, all of the things. I looked and read all about all the accolades. I mean, we can't even begin to all the awards and things you've won over the years. But when all is said and done, when this is all over with, when your career's done, you're out of the spotlight, you're moving on, what's the legacy that you hope to leave of the Alex Bregman legacy? What do you envision that to be?
Well, I talked about my dad a little bit earlier, and growing up, my dad would always talk about Jackie Robinson and like how he always said like a life is only as important as the impact it has on other lives. And honestly, I want to help people. I want to help people. And at the end of the day, we have a great platform playing baseball, and I think we use it if we use it in the right way, which is helping people and helping others. That's what I want to do. And yeah, I mean, I've been fortunate enough to be with a amazing woman, my fiance Reagan, who is driven the same way in helping people and really just using this platform in the right way.
Awesome. Well, listen, last chance. Tell us what's going on and what you want us to do and how we can help and how they can donate and give and all of those fun things. Let everybody know.
Yeah, so if you could text FEEDHOU, feed Hugh, to 41444, and it'll just give you all the details right there. And if somebody donates $1, it's 3 meals for kids. So we're working hard here. We're trying to raise as much money as possible to put as much food on the table as possible for these kids. And yeah, I look forward to trying to do that. And whenever baseball starts, hopefully put on a good show with my teammates for the fans.
Awesome. Well, listen, I appreciate you for letting me share my story on your podcast. I look forward to that coming out. Do you have any idea when those things are going to be available?
Yep, they'll be ready here in a few days.
I'm putting you on the spot because I'm ready to see it. So.
Oh yeah, we'll have it ready in a few days. It'll be up, and I'm excited. We've been fortunate enough to speak with great people like you who have great stories, who are doing great things in their communities, and exciting to shine the spotlight on them, and looking forward to it. And thank you for having me, man.
You got it, buddy. I'll talk to you soon. Alex Bregman, thanks so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.